Hello YouTube, welcome back to the channel. We are back in our outdoor studio, i.e. the garage, on this rather comfortable North Carolina late afternoon, early evening for another firearm review. I know I haven't done one in a while, been a little busy, real life, you know how that works. And I figured it was time to show off the new addition to the family, the rifle that I purchased for my wife for our anniversary. So yes, I did buy my wife a rifle for our anniversary because I'm that kind of husband. And yeah, so we'll get right to it and we'll be right back. Hey, we're back. So what rifle did I get my wife? This rifle is what I got my wife. Now, before you lose your mind and you go, oh my God, please do not be negative or intolerant or anything else, and please do not assume the identity of this rifle. This is not an AR-15. This is an Smith & Wesson M&P 1522, or as I like to call it, a 22 caliber Freedom Seed Spreader, because that's what she is. And yes, it is a girl. Now, optics aside, this is how we bought the rifle. We did buy it used. This was the first and only used rifle we have. So while I cannot go into super finite details as far as like who manufactured the handguards and whether it's a mil spec or a commercial spec, I'm going to assume certain things are mil spec, and if I'm wrong, please comment below, because like I said, we bought this used. It came with the rifle minus the optics, one magazine, and that was it. It didn't come with the manual for it. It didn't come with a lock. It didn't come with anything because, again, we bought it as a used item. So that being said, buying it as a used item, it was in pretty damn good condition for a used weapon. I want to say it looked like it might have been fired a couple dozen times, maybe a magazine full of ammo, and that was about it, because it was dry. The first thing we did when we got it home was I taught my wife how to break it down, and we'll go through that here in a minute. I taught my wife how to break it down, and we tore it apart and we cleaned it and lubed it. It was dry. I found more moisture in Saudi and UAE and Qatar than I found in this gun. This thing was so much needed a cleaning. But that being said, honestly, I have no negatives about this. I don't even care that it's pink. I'm pretty confident in my manlyhood that I'm still going to shoot this thing, even though it's the wife's rifle. Now, I will go over what I do know about it, and I will go over the optics because we added those. And so yeah, let's get on with the review. This is, as I've said, a model M&P 1522 in caliber 22 long rifle. It is made by the Smith & Wesson Company, Springfield, Massachusetts, made in the USA, so another American-made rifle. It has, we'll start at the back and work our way up. It has a 6-position adjustable stock, which most AR framed weapons have, whether it be an AR-10, an AR, you know, well, not necessarily AR, because the M4s had it too, but this style of weapon, this I'm going to assume this is a commercial spec, not a mil spec. So, but not only that, but with it being the Muddy Girl camouflage, it's probably going to be hard to find a different stock for it if we wanted to change it out. This rubber pad, my wife added it. Don't ask me. It's a 22. It's not like it has any kick to it. She wanted a pad. She said it rubbed on her shoulder when she was shouldering the rifle. All right, I'll let her have it. We'll go forward. It has a standard charging handle. It appears to be polymer of some sort. You have a thumb safe fire like any standard military style, AR style hunting rifle. It has a safety. You have a very basic polymer grip, but it actually is not bad. The checkering's actually pretty decent on it. I don't know if you can see it. The sun's going down. I did this a little late because I didn't want to be blinded. But as you can see the checkering on it, it's not bad. It actually grips pretty good. You have easy access magazine release. Now this is not, you might be able to change it out, and it looks like you can change the safety for ambidextrous, but I don't know why you would want to, because then you've got an ejector port right in your face. So if you wanted to make it ambidextrous, you could do the safety as ambidextrous, but mag release is not going to be an ambidextrous. It's literally set up for right-handed shooters. You do not have a forward assist on this, but then again, it's a 22 caliber. You have your standard ejection port. Inside the ejection port, attached to the barrel, is the extractor key. Now, I know with 223s and 556s and 308s, the extractor is part of your bolt carrier. On the M&P first generation and second generation 1522s, the extractor is part of your barrel assembly. So when you change out the barrel, you actually change out the extractor as well. So, and I know the first generations, if you're a follower of 22 Plankster, he talks about his M&P Sport. He changed out the barrel for an aftermarket barrel because he was having an extractor issue on his first gen. The second gens, which this is, don't seem to have that issue. At least we haven't had the issue. Now, standard, where it is, there it is, bolt release, bolt catch. So I can send the bolt forward. I can lock the bolt open, send the bolt forward, just like a standard AR. M16A1, M16A2, M4, it's the same design. Moving forward to the grips, this is a second generation grip. How you know it's a second generation grip? The first generations were beefier, and not only did it have the rail across the top, it had the rail on at the 3, 6, and 9 o'clock positions as well. So it just made it beefier to hold on to. The second generations only went to the rail, Picatinny rail system across the top. This handguard is actually a mag pull handguard. So I'm going to go with commercial spec. I don't think it's mil spec again. I'm assuming. If I'm wrong, comment below. Again, I bought it used, so I'm not 100% sure. It does have mag pull flip up sights. Let me move the optic out of the way. It has mag pull flip up sights on the rear. Standard peep sight. And on the front, standard post sight. Nothing special. They are made of polymer, but they are decent quality. We took this to the range after we bought it, and she was shooting low and to the right at 50 yards. And I mean like substantially low to the right. So we never sighted in the pop-up sights, the open sights, iron sights. polymer sights because I knew my wife wanted optics. The barrel is 16-inch barrel. I'm not going to look down it, but I don't think it's chrome lined, but then again, it's 22 caliber. You could probably fire 1,000 rounds through this thing and you probably wouldn't do much extra wear and tear on the barrel anyway. It does have it almost looks like a mil-spec flash suppressor on the front. Again, it's a 22, not like it's really needed. It could be a straight barrel, and I think this was more just in line with the tactical, the style of rifle. I don't really think it matters that much because the 1022 just has a straight barrel. But this would be a good suppressor host gun if you're in a state that allows suppressors. Now, for the magazine, we are lucky. I am in a state that allows full-size magazines. So I do have 25 round magazines. These are actually made by Smith & Wesson. We have 2 of them. I bought an additional one. They're not bad. They're average $20 to $25 for a magazine. Not bad for a 25 round 22 magazine. Now, they go in just like any military style, AR style, whatever you want to call them, magazine. And it actually drops pretty easily. So, not bad. I mean, they're actually pretty decent mags. The only thing, because it is a standard size, I mean, they're full-size magazines that are basically necked down to hold a 22 bullet, 22 long rifle. When you load it, and again, I wish I'd grabbed a bullet. I wish I'd grabbed some ammo. When you load it, don't pull the, all the way down because they're just going to fall and jam up. You literally have to go little at a time to load, to load, to load, to load. My wife got a little clip-on loader thing for it. Again, I don't know why. My wife makes her happy. Now, what we have for optics, and her optics are not sighted in yet because we have not gone to the range to shoot, to sight in. But she has a AT3 tactical red dot. That is this first bit right here. It's an AT3 tactical red dot. And now, just to give you a heads up, how cool is this tactical red dot? This red dot goes all the way up to 11. If you get that joke, you're good. Also came with a riser block. Came with the standard cover. Standard cover. It came with a little tactical hood cover. It sucks. I'm going to go ahead and say that now. The little tactical hood cover sucks. Now, this is just a red dot. This is not red and green. This is just strictly a red dot. But you know what? That's fine. The intensity levels go from 1 up to 11, which means it's not going to be washed out by going to the range on a sunny afternoon. Now, this boy right here, this is an AT3 tactical red dot magnifier. This is a 3X magnifier. So what this does, and it's made for left-handed. You have to get a right-handed one if you want this right-handed. Why would you want it right-handed? Or for a left-handed shooter? I don't know. Maybe you're just weird like that. But it's made to go left-handed, so when you are shooting close range, it's out of your way. When you need to use it, let's go ahead and turn that little red dot on. I hope you guys can see it. Probably not. Nope, obviously not, because I took the cover on. I left the cover on. You might be able to get in there and see. I don't know. But yes, there's a red dot. You may be able to see the red dot in there. I'm hoping. I don't know. I am filming this on my camera, so on my phone, my phonemus camera. Now, you have elevation and windage adjustments on the red dot, but you also have elevation and windage adjustments on the magnifier. So what you do is you sight in your optic, 25, 50 yards, whatever, which is probably about the average you're going to sight in at 22, unless you have really, really good eyes, which I don't. So I will be sighting this in indoors at 25 meters. And once you have the red dot sighted in, then you flip over your magnifier and you use your windage and elevation to center that red dot in your viewfinder of your magnifier. So that's kind of cool. I may end up looking for this design when I get my AR-10. There we go. English, again, first and worst language. But so far, we have nothing major. I want to say we fired maybe 250, 300 rounds through this since we purchased it. Let's go ahead and put it down. Since we purchased it, I want to say we've got 250, 300 rounds through it. I've had 2 misfires, and they were ammo related. I only have 3 types of 22 ammo currently around. I have a Federal green and white bucket, the Golden Bullet bucket, and that fires good. I've had 1 weak primer, weak primer strike, but that's kind of common with bulk 22 ammo, and it's just the way that 22 ammo is made. Because it's so mass produced, when it's thrown in a bucket, the primer has a tendency to shift around in the case. And then I had a Herder's 22, and the reason why the Herder's 22 acted up is the Herder's hollow point is actually it's a larger cavity in the hollow point, which means the walls of the bullet are actually, the projectile are actually narrower. And what had happened is it crimped the bullet and just kind of jammed up a little bit. I reloaded it and it fired fine. But that's all it was. So, and I've ran Winchester 40 grain black and red box through it, and that's ran fine. I think once all my bulk ammo's used up, I'm probably going to put CCI through it, because they now have the CCI clean, and CCI makes an actual copper jacketed round point for the tactical 22 rifles. So I think that's what we're going to go with. Again, I mean, if I was going out squirrel hunting or something like that, which I'll take this thing squirrel hunting any day of the week, that's fine. I probably would use the stingers or the velocitors or something like that. But I think we're just going to the target for the range. I think just using the CCI copper jacketed would be just fine. Again, let's go back over the highlights of this beautiful, and actually it is a really, really fine weapon. But yeah, came with Magpul pop-up front and back sights, Magpul handle grip, hand grip, Magpul 6-position rear. The lower receiver, I want to say, is mil-spec. But again, I don't have the paperwork, so I'm not 100%. I believe it's mil-spec, though. But let's go ahead and do the fun thing. The one thing I know y'all all want to see. Let's see if Scott knows how to break one of these apart. And by the way, yes, I do. Just like any other AR. Ta-da! And here's why I want to say, put it on fire, dingus. It doesn't have the notch on the top of the hammer. So I want to say this is a mil-spec hammer, because I think the commercial spec hammers have a notch there. but I may be mistaken. Again, I don't have the paperwork for it. But it comes apart just like any other AR. And the bolt carrier group is so tiny. So tiny, actually. It's really not a, I mean, there's no real firing pin because there's your bolt carrier group. It's all polymer except for the actual bolt itself. Your charging handle is polymer. It hooks together just like any other and drops into place just beautifully. And I just did all that off camera, didn't I? Why, yes, I did. It is super tight, and that's because the lower and the upper is both polymer, so it's really, really tight fit. It was really rough when we first bought it because, again, there was no oil on this thing at all when we got it. So let's go ahead and put it back on safe. Put the pin in, boom, we're back together. Now, does Scott remember how to function check? Yes, I do. Function check complied with. Function check complied with. So yes, I still remember how to break down an M16, A1, A2, and an M4. So there's my review on the M&P 1522, or as I like to call it, the 22 caliber Freedom Seed Dispenser, because that's what it does. It dispenses 22 caliber Freedom seeds at mass with 25 round magazines. So I think it's a good gun. I don't even care that it's in pink. I'm happy with it. It's still a good little gun. My wife's happy with it, which makes everybody happy. Happy wife, happy life, right? So as always, thank you for watching. Please hit the little subscribe button. Please hit the little bell button for notified when I make new videos. Follow me on Twitter, which I will post all my videos when they come up due. And I hope you like the channel. I hope you like the review. I've got no negatives on it for once. Scott actually has no gripes about anything. So I thank you all for watching, and y'all have a good day. Oh, and if you are in the Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, and North Carolina coast, be safe with this hurricane. I know Florida's roughly off the hook, but it still can go any direction it wants. It's a hurricane. It's Mama Nature. She can do what she wants. So for everybody between Florida and North Carolina, be safe, guys. Take care of each other. Keep an eye out for each other. And y'all be good. Have a good one.